Hello everybody, welcome Hypno Junkies. Time for more Chaos Head Noah. And it's also time for a new ending. So, last time we finished Ayase. As I record this, the Yua episodes are just starting to go up. And it's time for Kozue. She's sort of the next one in the list, in the order. I'm kind of curious where this one's going to go, because not only do we know a fair bit about Kozue, she's probably the most background character of the 6 girls. She's not our sister. She's not our girlfriend. She doesn't have a mission like Yua and Senna and Ayase do. Kozue's biggest mission is just trying to get to school without running into someone or falling down some stairs. That's kind of her shtick. And she's an interesting character. I like her, but I feel like we know what she's about. So I wonder what's going to come up during this story. What kind of info we're going to find, or revelations, or what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to Senna as well, because I feel like Senna is going to get all science-y in the same way that Ayase was sort of religion-y. Ayase was very much a zealot on a mission. Senna is probably the most educated character on how all this D-sword stuff even works in the first place. So that will probably be interesting too. But hey, let's give Kozue a chance. I like Kozue. I got nothing against Kozue. I'm just curious what her story is going to be about. So we actually get to skip quite a ways ahead. We're going to skip right to when Kozue even joins class. Because, I mean, she's the last character that gets introduced formally, I think. She's a ways in. So let's just go ahead and skip to that and see what happens. And here we are. So, as I said, we fast-forwarded through quite a bit. We're in Chapter 3. We have had Nanami almost get run over by a car again. We got our new phone. We ran into Fess in the hallway. We talked to Bon and Sua. Got his name right for a change. Remy found us in our crate, and we freaked the F out. And, yeah. That's pretty much it. Obviously, we tried to get our own D-sword, failed miserably, gave Nanami her bangle, and now we're coming to school. We're about to run into Remy in school for the first time, which is going to be another freak-out moment, but that isn't happening yet. First, we have a new classmate, and her name is Kozue. Well, her name is Kozue right now, and I guess we're going to hallucinate something about her. And hopefully it's not entirely dirty, but probably will be, considering that's what we've become accustomed to. So, we need to have a positive hallucination, or green, I should say. I'm not sure there's any consistency between green and red. I'm not sure green means good and red means bad. They just seem to be arbitrary. Maybe there'll be some sort of consistent pattern in hindsight, but right now it just seems like, would you like the left or the right? Pick a hand. Whatever. But sure enough, there was someone there. Teacher said there was a transfer student. Oh, hey, there's a transfer student. She's very tiny. That's probably why I didn't see her. Probably even more so than Nanami. She looked fairly timid, emulating that Moe gets bullied all the time archetype. Nailed it. If I had to choose, she was probably around mid-tier when it came to 3D girls. We're already judging her. For some reason, she was looking down at the floor, her eyes filled with tears. Probably because she knows you just thought of her as mid-tier, and she's just like, what the F? I heard that, Takumi. Alright. Make good choices. Wouldn't it be nice if the transfer student were some holy messenger sent here to protect me and slay the demon? Ah, yes, I forgot. Every time we see a new character, we're like, this person will save me. Yeah, that's why Kozue gave you the Band-Aid. It was an armor upgrade. Whoever Remy was, I had no doubt she was dangerous. Exactly. We've only talked to her once, and that was in our crate, and we were very scared. My life was being eroded, I knew that for a fact. Until things changed, I'd be a dead man walking. I need protection. Maybe this 4-foot-nothing girl will save me. Yeah. Hey, she actually talked. Like, not with her inner voice, her mouth moved, and that wasn't just Psy'Min noticing mouth movings for the first time. Her mouth actually moved. That's why she's here to protect us. All right, we are immediately in the Kozue path. Here I come to save the day. Suddenly the transfer student turned her gaze toward me and whispered that. No way. She could hear my thoughts. Oh, we get choices again. This seems like what happens every time we choose a delusion path. We have to pass a quiz that unlocks it formally. Could she be here to help me? Well, apparently so. This transfer student must be a professional exorcist. I'm gonna say yeah, since that seems to fall in line with the earlier thought. She acts frail, but that all it is, an act. Well, you certainly hope so. And it probably is an act, considering she's got a great-ass sword. And beat the crap out of those 3 bullies. She must be here to kill Remy. Again, you hope so. That's probably what you want to delude. The 2 of them should just kill you. Okay, that's going a little far. Kozue's going to hear that, and she's going to be, no. I think that might be bad. The 2 of them should just kill each other. What do you have against Kozue? What do you have against Kozue? She literally just showed up. You've known her for 30 seconds. She said one thing to you which was helpful, and you're like, you should kill yourself. No, let's not do that. Ooh, I have an achievement. Ker-Bam-Schwing! Discovered Kozue's story. I keep calling her Kozue. I mean, that's her name for herself. Takumi-kun, I'm here for blood. The demon girl is my target. Okay, so that escalated quickly. Interlude, nothing. Just go take a swing at Remy, and we'll be done. It'll be the fastest episode ever. I wondered how this was going to go. Like, what's going to happen? Apparently, we're just playing an entirely different game now. Even though the transfer student's eyes were welling with tears, they were also filled with determination. Despite her timid appearance, I felt like I could trust her. There was no doubt that from an outsider's perspective, her words were blatantly nonsensical. The screen is still wavering, though. This is probably a hallucination. This is just what he wishes were the case. Yes, the student has appeared to solve your problems. I was the only person in the sea of confused people who wasn't perplexed by her first words, because you imagined them. In fact, I was screaming for joy. Internally, of course. You were screaming for joy internally, and Kozue was like, ow, my inner ears. I'm saved. No doubt an exorcist organization sent this girl to dispose of Remy. Fuck yeah! Kill that bitch! Meanwhile, Kazui's slowly backing away. She's just like, okay, this guy is insane. Don't make eye contact. Remy's like, oh, there. Remy's just right here. Instead of sneaking up or standing in front of our desk while our head is down, Remy's just like, hey, remember how we talked yesterday? Taku, don't let her trick you. Remy's panicked voice rang from behind me. I'm pretty sure this is still all a delusion. It's not me she's after. It's you. Don't listen to her. Cease your deception, demon. This is the end for you. I'm almost imagining Takumi with a couple of action figures on his desk playing this out in his head. Like, this is a little bit out of left field. You're the demon here! Both of you shut up. Right now, I didn't care who the real demon was, nor who my real ally was. I was having too much fun with my action figures. I want to spend my life watching Bloodtooth and playing ESO every day, and I'm happy with that life, so I couldn't give less of a damn what you two do. In fact, you'd be doing me a favor if you just killed each other. Yeah, like that cliche where warriors hit each other at the same time and both of them die. Following those words, I could feel a rising unease spreading throughout the room. Yeah, did you say that out loud? A transfer student whose name I didn't know, and a demon girl who had only been in this class since the day before yesterday. Each glaring daggers at each other from their own separate corners of the room, the tension between them burning like a fuse trailing toward a pack of TNT. The homeroom teacher and the rest of the students were on the edge of their seats watching intently as the events unfolded. No, they're not. Fine. I'll do as Taku says. Out come the swords? I have no objections. They're gonna start fighting? All of a sudden the screen switches to Skullgirls. I'll put you to rest, assassin. This is just their intro dialogue. And I'll send you back to hell, Miss Demon. And then they both sprang into action, by which their sprites collided. Yeah, that's the end of that. Of course, something like that would never actually happen. Kozue is just traumatized by the thoughts she's hearing. She's just like, what the actual F? I don't want to help you anymore. I want to close my route. Go do Remy's. The transfer student remained as sheepish as ever, not uttering so much as a peep. Remy also didn't say a word. In fact, she didn't give any indication that she was here at all. We haven't run into her yet. At least not in the classroom. The scattered whispers grew to murmurs as the transfer student maintained her silence. So in order to comfort her, the teacher placed his hand on her shoulder. Looks like she's a little nervous. All right, I'll take you off the hot seat. This is Orihara Kozue, everyone. I hope you'll all welcome her as a new member of the class. Orihara, your desk is over there in the back, where no one can see you. Go ahead and take a seat. The transfer student made her way to the back without saying a word, keeping her head low to the ground. I mean, she was too short to do anything else. Her seat was 4 rows behind mine. Should I pretend to watch her so I could catch a glimpse of the people behind me? Problem was that it'd draw a lot of unwanted attention to myself. I didn't want any DQNs trying to pick a fight. Don't go staring at her just because she's cute or some BS like that. I was at a loss for what to do. Should I look now or should I wait until class is over? My head still firmly pressed against my desk, I squeezed my fists tightly. Forget it, I was a coward. Just the thought that if I turned around, my eyes would meet with that girl's sent shivers down my spine. Hey, you over there! Huh? Are you a baddie? If you are, then Kazupi's A-okay with killing you. She heard that earlier monologue internally, so now her comments are different. Instead of "it's so nice to meet you," it's like, "Are you a baddie? You seem weird." The transfer student walked right by my seat. Taken aback, I glanced at her face. You like my sword? Our eyes met, only for her to immediately avert her gaze and continue walking. Oh, no sword this time. What was that voice? No doubt it had been just another one of my delusions. I'd been feeling overwhelmed by them lately, almost as if reality and delusion were blending together. Still lacking the courage to turn around, my body stiffened even further, squeezing inward in my seat. I tried to focus on staying completely still, desperately trying to avoid drawing Remy's attention. Is that it? I feel like that might be it. Ding dong, bing bong. All my new fears and doubts zoomed through my mind at 1,000,000 kilometers an hour, and before I knew it, homeroom had ended. This seems like new dialogue. First period would begin in about 5 minutes. First period? Mizumi-kun rushed over to the transfer student's desk. What the hell's been happening now? This sounds like the bell to go home. Knowing him, he was going to try to lay the moves on her. The other students were clearly interested in her too, and the room had grown louder than usual. At a glance, it may have seemed like a casual, peaceful, ordinary thing. But for me, it was like being caught deep within enemy territory. My heartbeat was going crazy, anxiety filled my head to bursting, and so much as lifting a finger felt like more than a one-man job. My brain was in the midst of a civil war, one side urging me to turn around, the other side warning me not to. Well, I think this part's the same. Did we close our eyes? My breath caught in my throat. My mind went completely blank. A voice had come from directly behind me. I'm going to try... She really was here. That girl really was here after all. You don't look so good. Should I press E or should I not press E? Are you feeling okay? Simon's anxiety is should I press E or should I not press E? I needed to run. I needed to run away as fast as I could. Psy'Min, for God's sakes, press the E button. Despite that, my legs were shaking so violently that I didn't think I could even stand. And while I was frozen solid, the demon girl, Sakihara Remy, circled around to the front of my seat. Yeah, there we go. Our eyes kind of narrow. You're covered in sweat. You're not sick, are you? I think this dialogue's the same. You know, with the black bars at the top and the bottom and the words at the bottom of the screen, this kind of looks like a old 8-bit Nintendo cutscene from Ninja Gaiden or something. Anyway, I'm going to try pressing E. Let's see what happens. Psy'Min pressed the E button. Takumi was saved from the demon girl. Hooray! So we fast-forwarded quite a ways. We fast-forwarded through a fair bit. We fast-forwarded past Kazupi falling down the stairs and hurting herself and bringing us a free Band-Aid. And we fast-forwarded past following the white chain to talking to Senna in the little train car. And I guess now we're having a little interlude with Kozue. Kind of like we did with some of the other girls who were just kind of having a little solo moment. Did you have a solo moment? I think she was the only one that didn't. But, yeah, Kozue is going to school. As the final class ended, the stuffiness of the school day gave way to a restful afternoon. Alone, Orihara Kozue plodded her way out through the front gate. Let's see if she can get home without running into something or falling over. As she walked, her lazed motions and lowered head highlighted her frailty. With her knit eyebrows and muddled expression, it seemed as if she was holding back tears. Having just transferred schools, Kozue felt isolated from her peers. However, that was only natural for her. She would rarely, no, would never speak. That's why her mouth moved. It was a delusion. That explains that. Even when called on by a teacher to solve a problem or read from a book, she would just fidget in her seat, tears welling in her eyes. Not a single person in the school had ever heard her voice, neither student nor teacher. Kozue constructed walls between herself and them, and those made curious by the novelty of a transfer student were quick to drift away. Even then, one or two inquisitive classmates were still determined to speak with her, Mizumi, but she had no desire to open her heart to them. Still, she never felt that her situation was particularly urgent. Even though it was only one person, she did have a friend, Senna. An older girl who was not in her class, so Senna. And I mean Senna this time, not Sua. Given that Kozue was new in town, the girl was the only person in all of Tokyo that she could confide in. Other than her, she felt she did not need to make friends. She did not need to get along with her classmates. All she really wanted was to continue living her quiet life. On this evening in Shoto Park, one could hear the sounds of children playing alongside the pond's bank. A boy happened to pass right by Kozue on a trail along the waterside. In his hand, he held a petite mirror that displayed the face of the owner. Again with the mirrors! She's just being tormented over and over again by people with mirrors and the who are you. It's just can't get away from it. Two housewives, likely the mothers of the children at play, were chatting on a bench. Kozue could hear their voices clearly. Inner or outer or both. There's this strange video floating around about a trifold mirror. It's awfully scary. Oh, is it? I haven't seen it, so I can't say I would know. What exactly is a trifold mirror? Here, it's one of these. With the 3 mirrors in a row that fold out. Everybody has mirrors. Isn't that great, Kozue? Oh yeah, I've seen mirrors like that before. I have 3 of them on me right now. So you were saying something about a creepy video? Kozue stopped dead in her tracks near the bench. Her forehead became sickeningly slick with sweat. The women put their talk on pause, glancing questioningly at the odd girl before them. Suddenly becoming aware of herself, Kozue rushed away from the park. So this is touching on Kozue's trauma. Mirrors, yeah. For Kozue, they were a source of great psychological trauma. Not wanting to recall the past, she frantically fought to keep the memories from flooding her mind. So again, are people actively going out of their way to torment the Gigalomaniacs? And not just the Gigalomaniacs. Bon even put up with this to a certain extent. He was able to cope with it better than most. He just laughed it off. But people, and by people I mean Kozue especially, are just being outright targeted, it seems like. Just cannot get away from the mirrors. She told herself that she was overthinking it and again continued walking toward the station. I'm going to spend the next week looking around for mirrors and see if it's just a question of, whether you're thinking of something or focusing on it, you tend to find what you imagine. It's like when you are thinking of buying a red car and you just all of a sudden notice every red car on the road. I don't know. I think this is deliberate. As she approached the front of Bunkamachi is a new word, her eyes were assailed by light, a glaring and radiant light. Kozue shivered in fear. So many times in the past she'd been assaulted like this by reflections in the mirror. Her mind overflowed with panic, unable to hold down her nightmarish past any longer. Was it a coincidence or was she being targeted? I still think it's the latter. She looked all around, praying it was just a misunderstanding. A short distance away, a white station wagon came to a stop. A man leaned out of the driver's window. In his hand was a mirror. He seemed to be adjusting its angle. Well, there's a mirror on the car. There's mirrors on all these cars. The light struck Kozue's eyes again and again. Frightened, she raised her hands to block the light, dashing across the pedestrian scramble in order to escape. You're going to get hit! Her mind ran rampant with terror and disorder. She wanted to get home as quickly as possible. She did not want to be here. Tears streamed down her face. It has to be a coincidence. She desperately repeated these words to herself, wiping away the tears with her fingers. Just then, light assailed her eyes once again. Its glare dazzled her, violently piercing her gaze. The car from earlier had followed her, yeah. This time, only the driver's arm protruded from the window, and in his hand, he still held that very same mirror. Snapping out of her trance, she put everything she had into running for the station. She bumped into numerous pedestrians while pushing through the crowd. Okay, well, I gave her a mission to get home without running into someone, and she failed. The fear kept her moving, paying no mind to all the mockery and insults sent her way. Upon arriving at the station, she turned around, only to find the white car stopped at a traffic light at Scramble Crossing. Kozue hid under the shadow of the Hachiko statue, huddling in place with bated breath, struggling to comprehend all that had happened. In her head, the same phrase repeated like a broken record. Who are you? Oh, no, never mind. It's just a coincidence, it's just a coincidence, it's just a coincidence, it's just a coincidence. That sailor suit's so hot it's on fire. You talking about our school uniform? Startled by the voice, she lifted her head. A man, seemingly a college student, stood by the Hachiko statue as if waiting for someone. He stood alone, his back turned to Kozue, and spoke into the phone pressed against his ear. His voice echoed in her head. That sailor suit was so hot it was on fire? Oh, listen to that background noise. That sailor suit was so hot it was on fire? We did burn some clothes in the incinerator in that earlier interlude before we really met Kozue, didn't we? The man did not turn toward her. Man, this is going to start driving you guys crazy. The phone remained against his ear. He seemed to be listening to whoever was speaking on the other end. However, not once did the man chime in or nod. He simply stood there, still as could be. Was he really on the phone? Yeah, my bride from the seashore is fantastic. The voice echoed once again. She could not understand how or why, but the man was speaking of things related to her painful past. She began to tremble. It frightened her to even so much as look at the man. She slowly crouched down on the spot, covering her ears. It's all a coincidence. This is all one big coincidence. She continued silently chanting this to herself. No wonder she hides in the stairwell in that one store all the time. As she sat there, crouching in place, an hour passed. Many people had passed by, but none tried to speak to her. When she finally managed to timidly raise her head, she found that the man was long gone. Is that it? We're just getting acquainted with Kozue's trauma. There I was in my beloved room 37. Yua is about 5 minutes away, I reckon. As I sank down in the recliner, I started chewing on my nails in an attempt to distract myself from my irritation. Takemi's upset because Psy'Min hasn't hit the E button yet, but he's going to. And I guess we'll find out when the next interlude is. And welcome back. So, sure enough, Yua chased us down. We had our second earthquake. We got Nanami's hand in the mail. We went to O-Front, failed to get our sword. All that fun stuff. Rimi has once again abandoned us. And we went right past Kozue and her little inner monologue interlude during the classroom, straight to us getting beat up by a bunch of bullies. And this is the text that the E-key saw fit to pause on. So we're hearing a ha-ha breathing from, I assume, Kozue. There was little indication that there were any people present in the back alley. The breathing of a girl, Orihara Kozue, could faintly be heard resounding through it. How do we know that? Our eyes are closed. We just know she's there. Or maybe we've had a perspective switch again. Now we are Kozue. Can we find out what happens to these guys? I want to see Kozue's perspective from what happens to the DQN bullies that later become the seventh victims. We've had our sixth victim. Finger food has already happened. No! Okay. So, we were under the impression, even the guys were under the impression, that Takumi had done something because of their comments to Suwa later, when they run into him again and he kills them and creates the seventh incident. They were like, that guy was a monster. Nope, it seems like Kozue had a contribution there. And that contribution is dripping off her sword right now. She cradled a gargantuan sword. Or perhaps it was not a sword. Its unique shape brought its identity into question. It's just a really weird snowboard. It was more akin to a snowboard, exactly. Was that brought up by the game before? I'm not sure I brought it up, but I mean, it looks like a snowboard. No lie. The sharpness of the blade could not compare to one, however. Its surface was stiff and it exuded a brutish aura. Wielded against another person that could slice through them with ease, and apparently did, all while grinding every bone in their body to dust. Maroon blood trickled down the blade, clinging to its edges. That is a gruesome sword edge. A young man in front of Kozue attempted to crawl away. Despite the puddles of filthy water, he tried desperately to get even a little bit further away from her. Kozue's face held a brilliant grin as she stared at the man. Oh, I want to see this grin. I want to see this brilliant grin. I want to see Kozue's psycho face. There was no trace of her usual cowering, timid personality. She was enjoying herself. Her cheeks were flushed, perhaps from excitement. Show Psy'Min. The sword in her hand had been used on 2 others before the man, and had been in a remorseless bloodbath. So, yeah, it wasn't Takumi. Kozue came in and took care of business. Kazupi's not gonna kill you, but baddies need to be punished. The faces of the vulgar young men were bloodied and swollen. Until only moments ago, they had been tormenting Kozue's classmate, Nishiji Takumi. She had heard the voices of their hearts by chance. Multiple boorish voices had wrenched their way into her head as she was passing by. Oh, screen started waving. Piece of shit, don't look down on me, you Esper freak. Die, I'll beat you to death, you little shit. So while this guy is begging for his life, this is what he's actually thinking, which is why Kozue is like, well, pathetic kinda whoop your ass, fucking die, Esper shit, you goddamn mouth. Fuck, I'm so pissed off I'm gonna end you. That stupid bitch gave me the cold shoulder. Oh, this has gotta be these 3. That stupid bitch gave me the cold shoulder. This is revenge fucker, shut the fuck up. I thought maybe these were random passersby, but no, this has gotta be these actual 3. Because they're talking about Espers. Rotten hell, fucking die already, you fake fucking Esper. The hell does it take to kill you, fucking just die? Or maybe they're talking about, or thinking about Takumi. This shit's just what I was told to do. Do this shit, get the money. I'll make a shit ton of money. I'll fuck him up. I'll get money. I want money. I'll beat him to utter shit. I'll fucking kill you, kid. I'm gonna slaughter you. I'll tell you to be... Yeah, these are probably just the thoughts that attracted her to the scene. Aha! Christ, it feels good beating people to a pulp. There's nothing fucking better, I swear. It's like I'm high or something. For real, it's fucking fantastic. I don't give a shit about the world. There's nobody who can fucking stop me. Except this 4-foot twig of a girl. The police won't do shit. My old boss won't do shit. My fucking mom won't do shit. Either nobody but me is on fucking top. There ain't nobody better than me. I'm at the top of the world. Bitch, stay still so I can kick the shit out of you. Holy shit, I'm awesome. Wow, they are DQNs. I want to kill them. They're baddies. From the cluster of voices formed by perverse hearts, a single voice of rage and hatred rose above, and it was hers. Oh, never mind. Recognizing the heart's outcry as Takumi, oh, he wanted to kill them. Kozue had come running to where he was. And she had then attacked the bad men. One more person and justice would be dealt. The threat to Nishiji Takumi and herself would be eliminated. For that reason, Kozue refused to let the young man crawl away. There would be no escape. I take it back. I'm sorry. I'll die. I'm gonna die. You'll fucking kill me. I'll die. I don't want to die. It's not fair. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm gonna fucking die. My guts will spill everywhere. I don't want to fucking die. I want to keep living. I want to live a good life. I want to do all the stuff I always wanted to do. Bit late for that. The young man's heart frantically pleaded for mercy. Kozue's wide smile did not fade. Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, you're gonna get fucked up, son. That's not even a psycho grin. That's the shadow and everything. My God, she doesn't even need a sword in her hand. You see that face in an alleyway, you know you're done for. That's it. It's over. Say your prayers, son. She gripped him by the back of the head, grabbing a fistful of hair, and forced him upright. She accomplished this despite the immense disparity in their physical appearances. I wonder how physically strong Kozue is. Like, we don't really... We've got some indication of that from Yua, but what if Kozue is just, like, even stronger? Obviously, her physical stature is nothing to write home about, but just by virtue of being a Gigalomaniac, just an aspect of her power we haven't really touched on. I mean, she waves that sword around all the time. That's got to be good, upper body workout. Her core is probably great. She accomplished this despite the immense disparity in their physical appearances. Lacking the willpower to resist, tears welled up in his eyes as he begged for mercy from the innocent little girl. Does this little girl look innocent, or is this the face of someone you could expect mercy from? You can just stop now. No more begging. You can just cry. Screaming is okay too. Yep. Kozue's answer was a swift denial. Nope, this little girl's going to have her fun. But it was not one she voiced aloud. She simply mouthed the word one letter at a time with her small mouth. N-O. Okay, fun sprites on this one. I like this path already. Everything I said at the beginning, I take it back. Best path ever. Kozue, best girl. Stay on her good side. Lifting it above her head, the gargantuan sword roared as it approached the man. With one blow, his jaw was pulverized. His shrieks reverberated throughout the alleyway. The man was blown away and then collapsed in a heap. There's not going to be any bodies left for a DQN puzzle. Sue was going to have to find something else to do. Blood would have splattered all over Kozue's clothes, but she used her blade to shield herself, allowing her to avoid such an event entirely. She knows what she's doing. She is practiced. With a nod of satisfaction, Kozue erased her sword. She then glimpsed at Nishiju Takumi, who was collapsed in the corner of the alleyway. Erasing her sword reminds me of the incident where she sliced those 3 people in the classroom. The incident that got her transferred in the first place. Bon was talking about how she was the only suspect, but they couldn't get her on anything because there was no weapon. I wonder how psychopath she was when that happened. Those 3 students are probably still traumatized from that as well. They close their eyes at night to sleep and they just see that smile. Jeez! Okay, you better wipe that off your face before Takumi gets up, or else he's going to start getting ideas. Man, you could just not even get the smile out. She is enjoying herself. This is the fun day. This is how she gets her kicks. Breathing loudly, her heart murmured, Kozue wants to kill them for you, but Kozue's gonna stop here. Okay, back to being innocent. Quick. My shoulder was shaken softly. Yeah, Kozue's just kind of shaking her head. It's like, okay, stop. Get out of psycho mode. Back to being timid. Boy, you is not the only one with split personalities. Damn. It was extremely gentle, and after just one shake, it stopped. It felt like someone was peering at my face. My consciousness was slowly returning to me. As it did, the pain in my body returned along with it. Okay, no psycho smile this time, right? The smell in my nose, it was a smell so strong it made me want to vomit. The smell of blood. Now, this is all going to be repeat as well, but much like the Ayase route, we're sort of in... Well, actually, no, wait, we might not be in the new territory. We're not in the new chapter, I don't think. I felt a tingling around my upper lip. The taste of iron spread throughout my mouth. Slowly, I opened my eyes. Hi, Kozue! Hey, how's your day been? I was in the same back alley as before. Wow. Okay, well, I think I'm going to press E. I think Psy'Min wants to run from the psycho. Save Takumi from the demon girl, save Psy'Min from the real demon girl. But I think we're into familiar stuff now, so let's hit the E button and see where we go, and if the E button doesn't want to work for me, then I guess we'll stay here. And we are officially there. We are now in a new chapter. This is pretty much after the Kozue stuff. We just finished having Crunchy Coons with Senna and Kozue, and it was basically the end of the chapter. And now we are officially in the new chapter. Chapter 8, Kozue Route, The Sickness Unto Slaughter. Fantastic name for this chapter, considering who it's about. Man, how many people are going to survive this? I think I joked when we first went through that whole Kozue thing about how Kozue was the real psycho of the game. Man, Psy'Min had no idea, did he? So we are at the beginning of this new chapter, and right off the bat, new dialogue. That car again. Is it the same car with the same guy with the same mirror? I keep thinking maybe the rucksack guys are manipulating people to do stuff coincidentally, but maybe it is just this small army of people who are keeping an eye on Kozue and just constantly flashing mirrors and stuff. Before Shinzen Station, Orihara Kozue stood petrified. Over the past several days, she had been going back home from here rather than Shibuya Station. All because of the white car that had been following her. Okay, maybe it's not a small army. Maybe it's just a few people. And today, the white car appeared once more. Kozue, just mess him up. Okay? As if waiting for someone that was parked in front of the station. Just casually walk past the driver's side window, poke your sword in there, and just carry on. No one's going to know. Stricken by this, Kozue froze dead in her tracks. The passenger side window slowly began to roll down, before stopping nearly halfway. Suddenly the hand of the passenger emerged from the opening. Within their palm, a handheld mirror was clutched tightly. Through her eyes, it felt almost as if they were taunting her, goading her. Do not taunt the psycho with the snowboard sword. The raw terror alone made her feel as if she may stop breathing at any moment. Again, that's what happened in the classroom when she got transferred. 3 girls with mirrors came in, and Kozue was like, I'm going to solve this. Refusing to wait even a moment longer, Kozue whipped around and took off running. Focused entirely on her attempt to get away, she had no capacity to maintain proper footing, falling and scraping her knees many times as she sprinted, as she does. Upon reaching Miyashita Park, which is that area where Senna actually took her sword and wrecked that one rucksack guy with his little army of Whose Eyes Are Those Eyes chanters. Actually, this is also where Yua talked to the cop. She took refuge on a bench and continued trembling well into the night. However, she could not afford to embrace her knees forever. Despite her fears, Kozue decided it was finally time to make her way back to Shibuya Station. What is the next? Are we going to run into Suwa? Because this is an area where Yua ran into Suwa. But the car was waiting. It was parked there too, the exact same car from before. Yua, you have a solution to this. I mean, Kozue, not Yua. No, stop it. Kazupi's like the lethal protector. She's like Venom, except instead of her weakness being sound waves, it's reflective surfaces. Though she had no destination in mind, she bolted once again. Tears poured down her cheeks with no end. Doubt was all that filled her mind. She could end up at Takemi's crate. No car is going to get up there, and supposedly her and Senna have been there after the whole Crunchy-kun incident. Who could possibly be in that white car? What could they possibly hope to gain by harassing her? Psy'Min wonders that too. When she came to her senses, she realized that she had found her way back to Shinzen Station. Given that the car had been at this very station earlier, the last thing she wanted was to return to it. Taking her chances, she entered an unfamiliar, narrow alley. Due to the lack of streetlights, the area was incredibly dim, something that only served to magnify the already intense dread in Kozue's heart. But at that point, Kozue was already drained. She did not have the energy to continue running. Wiping away her tears, she kept up her desperate struggle, stumbling every other step of the way. Is this the alleyway where those DQN guys ran into Suwa and got killed, maybe? It might be the alleyway where the crucifixion murder happened, but that was a while ago. Will she witness the 7th incident? Oh, and right when she thought she was about to hit the main road, the white car passed right in front of her. You're going to flash the mirror in her face, aren't you? You're going to be a prick, aren't you? Kozue was shocked by its sudden appearance. It then traveled approximately 50 meters away from Kozue before stopping on the shoulder of the road. Okay, it passed by without noticing her. Its hazard lights flickered to life. Stop it! Stop! She lost all willpower to run. No matter where she ran, they would always find her. As if it were reading her mind, the car would always anticipate where she would be. I mean, the mind reading is not something specific to Kozue. Shogun's got an aptitude for it, the whole Noah thing. The question is why? To what end? Again, only some people are having this done to them, or maybe other people are just oblivious. But Bon and Kozue specifically. Sinking to the ground, she cradled her head in her arms. Help me! Someone help me! Within her heart, she cried out for salvation, but in the end, not a soul came to her rescue. Game over, episode done. Even as Kozue began to stagger away in a fit of tears, the vehicle remained parked. And to the very end, whoever was inside made no attempt to show themselves. And that's it. We're back to Takumi. All right. Kozue is just not having a good time. Current users 2. Shogun? It might be Shogun. Yo. Oh, it is Grim. All right. I've been waiting for... I mean, there's not much difference between Grim and Shogun. One's Suzuki, one's Suwa. Hey, Narihara-kun, I've been waiting for you. There's been another new gen. I wonder how Suzuki feels typing like this. What are you even on about? Insert ASCII art. New gen, dude! What the fuck do you think I'm on about? I've been busy. I just finished. How exactly did we go from new gen to new gen? New generation, new gen, new gen, new gen. I guess Hazuki didn't have anything to do with the 7th case. That was all Suwa. Come on, that shit's obvious. Use common sense for fuck's sakes. More importantly, there's a 7th case. It happened again, another new gen. How long was this damn thing going to go on for? Was I next? Would I be the victim of the 8th case? The 9th? Anxiety aside, Grim was pretty much the new gen news guy at this point. He'd been keeping me in the loop about basically everything. This is the way the chapter more or less started in the Ayase route too, so we might get a little repetition here. We'll try to breeze through it. Obviously, the Ayase route didn't start with an interlude. Certainly not one about Kozue. Even now, he was going out of his way to link a bunch of blog posts and news articles about it. Seemed like he really wanted me to take a look. After this, we basically go to visit Ayase too, so I wonder if that's going to get interrupted. Like I said before, where Kozue is right now, is she going to stumble up here? Biting my lip, I reluctantly clicked the first link. And she's going to let spill that she came here with Senna after our Crunchy-Coons. Hey, 7th new gen case, DQN puzzle. 3 losers. Don't care. Been through this. It's one of us anti-DQNs. Don't worry, our Esper boy Nishiju will sniff him out. News time! Passing news salesman. Mr. Saw It. And discovered the bodies of 3 male homicide victims suspended. All residents of Shibuya, unemployed guy, college guy, construction guy, severed in half and then stitched back together. And they had the DQN wounds on their foreheads. So the investigation is ongoing. At the end of the news clip, portraits of the 3 victims were shown. I had seen those faces before. It's them. It's the people Kozue fucked up. The guys who beat me up yesterday. I'd given them my wallet, but they kicked my ass anyway. I then fallen unconscious, and when I woke up, Kazupi was beside me. The 3 of them have been collapsed on the ground, covered in blood. I can't stop thinking about how Kazupi was during that scene, man. That left an impression. Man, she is the dangerous one. Damn. I guess we know what her thing is now. She's not a particular of interest character to our guy. She doesn't have a mission. She's just out of her fucking mind. I dug my wallet out of my pocket and stared at it intently. When I came to, Kazupi had been carrying it, and she'd given it back to me soon after. Could the person who killed those 3 be? It could have been. It wasn't, but it could have been. No, definitely not. Last time I'd seen them, they'd been beaten to a pulp, and covered in blood, but they haven't been cut in half or anything. Which would mean they'd been killed after Kozue and I had left. Somewhere Kozue is still crying. She's like, I wanted to kill them. It had to have been Shogun. That wrinkly asshole was trying to provoke me. Damn it, he was really committed to driving me insane. Just how far was he willing to go? I wanted to vomit. I clutched my stomach as it churned in pain. I mean, look how insane they've driven Kozue. Because that's like years of who am I and mirror abuse, I reckon. Was I next? Would I be next to die? Was there some reason they were trying to make her insane? I mean, that somebody went out of their way to make Ayase go insane. It was also possible that Shogun could show up in person again. He seemed to be playing with me like it was some kind of game after all. Maybe he'd feel like sending me on another quest soon. Just the thought alone terrified me. I tried to grasp my D-sword, but even that was just to protect myself from him. No, I'd tried to grasp my D-sword. Okay. I read that as I tried to grasp my D-sword like he went looking for his foam sword. He just feels better holding it. Without that sword, how could I ever hope to escape his evil clutches? Get one of those foam diamond Minecraft swords. It'd probably be better. It felt like he was holding a knife straight to my throat, like he was saying, I can kill you whenever I please. Please just let me go. What have I done to deserve this? I can't take it anymore. Someone save me, please. Possibly the psychopath. You know what? I'm starting to feel better about putting my faith in Kozue. I regret calling her a four-foot twig. She's probably the best protector in the game. Remy, where did you go? Weren't you supposed to protect me? No, I couldn't rely on Remy anymore. Even she's scared of Kozue. I hadn't even gone to school today just to see her, but she hadn't been there. Almost like she was never there to begin with. So I had to find someone else. Guess who that's going to be? Someone else who I could rely on to protect me, and the first person that came to mind was... Is it going to be Kozue? The last route it was Ayase, because we were like, I forget our justification in the moment. It was a poor justification, considering Ayase was in the hospital. But after Kozue messed up those three guys, he's probably going to think of Kozue. Yep. Lately, Shibuya's been getting a lot more dangerous. This must have been standard text, because the E key brought me right past it. Like yesterday, some cocky roaches tried to get me, so Kozue crash bang beat them up. Kozue. She was as far removed from normal as could be, and also a pretty big idiot. But because of that, something told me that if I had to depend on her, she might actually hear me out. That's not why you can depend on her. Upon entering the classroom, I looked toward Remy's seat. There was no one there. This is when we planned to visit Ayase with Mizumi, but I suspect things will go differently now. Next, I looked over at Kazubi's desk. She'll say good morning to us. Ohayo. She was in her seat, face down, and huddled up. There it is. Ohayo, Takumi-san. Morning, Kozue. I didn't make eye contact, but I greeted her with my inner voice, so this part's the same. The female DQNs were watching me, smirking. Cunts, that part's the same too. It was no different than yesterday. They had already labeled me as that otaku freak who said he was psychic and made an ass of himself on TV, and, well, that label wasn't going away anytime soon. The male DQNs didn't seem to have arrived yet. It was pretty common for them to skip first period, and that was fine by me. Mizumi-kun merely tossed a glance in my direction, not caring enough to greet me. All ties between us were pretty much gone at this point. Then again, it was already pretty strange that he and I had ever been friends at all. Man, that is so weird. Taking a seat, I pretended to fall asleep, and then I called out with my mind. Ring, ring, calling Kozue. Kozue, can you hear me? Ha, yes, sir. What is it? I need your help. If I don't get help fast, someone is going to kill me. Someone's going to kill you? Yeah, that's why I want you to protect me. You could use your D-sword. Oh, man. You had Kozue at use your D-sword. I don't know. Here's the act. Here comes the act. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm pretty weak and I wouldn't hurt a fly. I don't know about that. I don't like violence. But first, Takumi-san, you don't think Kozue is dumb, do you? Do you? Again, she can hear your thoughts, my guy. Was she actually, she obviously didn't go to his crate last night, but did she pass by and hear those thoughts about him thinking she was dumb? Kozue's dumb. We can manipulate her. You don't think I'm dumb, do you? Oof. Exposed. Boo! Kozue knew it. Takumi-san, you're such a meanie head. I get to do that voice a lot today. Well, on the top of that, Kozue's not gonna have to kabang anybody up, will she? This is a bluff. She's looking forward to it so badly. You know, there's a certain way Kozue hurts all the baddies who try to hurt her. She tears them to itty-bitty pieces. She sure does. Okay, does everyone around me think I'm stupid? What is this? I'm just a poor innocent otaku who hasn't done anything wrong. All I want is to just shut myself inside my base and spend the rest of my life in there. I swear to God, it's like everyone around me is screwing with me. Yeah, what the hell? What did I do to deserve this? I've done nothing wrong. I'm a good person. DQNs, they're the bad ones. And Shogun, too. Please, Kozue, I need your help. Protect me from them. I'm not sure what you have to offer in terms of payment, though. You even said it yourself the other day, those cockroaches that say all those horrible things to me, they're even more worthless than I am. Kozue probably said that. You did. But the problem is, Kozue doesn't know a Mr. Shogun. I know him all too well. He's this kid that looks like an old man, and he rides around in a wheelchair. One day, he's going to show up out of the blue and kill me right then and there. He's the one who stole Nanami away. Well, that'll be news to Kozue. Wowie zowie! That really stinks a lot, Takumi-san. This level of dialogue is like one step below Saratan. I thought Saratan's dialogue was insipid. Kozue is just like baby talk all the way. That's really stinky poo. What? Is that really all you have to say? I agree. Kozue wants to kill some baddies. But Senna-chan told me that killing peoples is a big no-no. Oh, no. Apparently, I'm not supposed to do that. Shit, even Kozue was on better terms with Senna than I was. With my head still down on my desk, I gritted my teeth and clenched my fists. What do I do? There's no one I can turn to except Kozue. Senna kind of scared. Senna scares you? Did you see the clip from earlier? Senna ain't nothing now. Kozue scares me. And even if she didn't scare me, I doubt she'd have any interest in helping the likes of me. Well, we'll see when we get to her route. The only one I could rely on was Kozue. Very eager to tear people to itty-bitty pieces. It'll be great. The school bell rang, bringing the day to a close, and me straight out of the classroom. Just like always, the class's token DQNs were making fun of me for the whole Esper debacle. Just today alone, they'd already come after me at least 5 separate times. Seriously, didn't they have anything better to do? Could bullies like them only get their kicks from picking on me? The hell was wrong with normies? And people thought they were actually human? Don't make me laugh. Okay, so Kozue's already got 5 targets. Shutting myself in my base to play ESO, immersing myself in dazzling delusions with Saratan. That was what made me happy. Very happy. Oh, we know. We know. God, I was so pissed off. So pissed off, in fact, that I've been doing nothing but cursing out those DQN fucks inside my head the entire way home. I was about to say, she's probably following your inner voice as you cuss them out. Takumi-san! I didn't really need to voice that. I felt Kozue poke my shoulder from behind a few times. Come on, Mon! Let's go walk home together! Well, if she's poking you in the shoulder, you're already walking home together. Do you really have any interest in protecting me? Mm-hmm. Oh, righto! Takumi-san! Kozue's got a present for you! A present? For me? Well, look at me. I think I just raised a flag. Oopie? What's a flag? You don't want to know. Don't ask. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. It's nothing. Don't worry about that. Well, anywhoosies, Right now, Kozue and Takumi-san should go somewhere nice and relaxing right now. Back to the stairwell. Somewhere nice and relaxing? Oh, God. Park? No, it is the stairwell. I knew it. Yes, Psy'Min knew it too. There are no people around, so the description is pretty spot on. Then again, it is just a staircase, so that only makes sense. So is that why I can't seem to calm down? Oh, so why is it that I can't seem to calm down? Maybe it's because of that employee downstairs. I feel like he's been keeping a close eye on me. He keeps flashing a mirror our way. Or maybe it's because Kozue and I are speaking telepathically. We aren't making any noise, so from an outsider's point of view, we probably just look like a bunch of freaks making faces at each other in total silence. Oh, boo! Is Kozue really a freak? Yes, in multiple ways. Certifiably. I mean, when you stare at people who stay completely silent, what do you expect? But then, when Kozue and Takumi-san talk like this, nobody can hear their secret conversations. What? These are supposed to be secret? Nope! No secrets from Kozue. The sheer amount of energy you have really does tire me out. Some things never change, though. Up you! Kozue's really sorry. Kozue didn't know Kozue was tiring Takumi-san out. Kozue will do her best to not tire Takumi-san out too much, too. You're just sitting in a stairwell, whatever. Can we just go back to what you were saying? Didn't you say something about a present? Oh, yeah! Yeah, so, you see, whenever Kozue makes a new friend, she always gives them a present as a present. She gives them a present as a present. Well, you spoiled the surprise. As she spoke, Kozue started rummaging around in her backpack. What did you give Senna? Back when Kozue met Senna-shan, my God, she's reading my thoughts. Senna-shan got one too. 1, 2, where is it? Oh, it's a candy. Oh, Kozue knows. Takumi-san, do you want to give Mr. Candy a little licky lick? She offered me a piece of candy. What the hell did she actually keep in her bag? Well, candy apparently. And it's gone. For now, though, I just took the candy, unwrapped it, and popped it in my mouth. It was lemon flavored. The tangy flavor spread throughout my mouth. Pretty refreshing, honestly. Was that the present, Kozue? Nope! That's the Mr. Candy that Kozue's always slurping on all the times. Like that specific Mr. Candy? Because I'm about to spit that back out in your face. What the hell? That's the Mr. Candy that Kozue's always slurping on all the times. And you just expected me to know that? No. I need you to... Okay, maybe it is a separate Mr. Candy. Or maybe we're just going to assume it's a separate Mr. Candy and move on. Okay, here's Takumi-san's present for realsies now. A D-sword would be lovely. What the hell? She happily pulled out a number of fanciful accessories from her bag, each one made up of a bunch of colorful beads. Kozue, are you actively trying to get me beat up? Like, more so than usual? Yeah, the hell are those? These are Kozue's clickety-clackities. I think I'd rather have the secondhand candy than this. There's bracelets, celery phone straps, rings, hairpins, charms, and much more. Did you make all of these? By hand? Okay, maybe that's a little nicer, but still. Well, no. Okay, fine. You just picked them up at the dollar store on the way here. Kozue tried to make them herself, but when she did, they all broke a lot and got even more extra clickety. So Mommy made all of them for Kozue. Kozue loves beads a super duper whole lot. Kozue loves them so much, she calls them all clickety clackities to show it. Kozue suddenly grabbed my hand. The sheer warmth and softness of it made my heart skip a beat. And she noticed. Oh, Pio, Takumi-san, your heart just jumped up. Only because it was a surprise attack. When Takumi-san's heart goes jump, Kozue starts to jump up and down too. Thump, thump. Doki doki! With a smile still on her face, Kozue handed me some things made out of beads. It was probably a cell phone strap if I had to guess. This one's for you, Takumi-san! I don't want it. I wouldn't provoke the psycho. Fui? Oh no! Is Kozue proposing? Is she? It's just, Kozue gives these to all of her friends. Kozue wants everyone to get a clickety-clackety. With a turn that would give anyone whiplash, Kozue burst into tears. Oh, why does she have to be so quick to cry all the time? Well, she's either quick to cry or quick to cut you, so... I mean, isn't this something a girl would wear? I feel weird putting it on. Oh, poo! Kozue gets it now. So Kozue's just causing problems for Takumi-san by giving Takumi-san a present. Even though Takumi-san's the second ever person Kozue's ever given a clickety-clack to. Big sniffle. She's not even crying anymore, she's just narrating her crying. Depressed as could be, Kozue made to take back the cell phone strap, but I quickly put my hand back and jammed it in my jacket pocket. Takumi-san? I changed my mind, I'll take it. Oopie? But why? Why? She said that she gives a present to all her friends, yet I'm only the second person to get one. In other words, Kozue must not have any friends. So the first one she gave was to Senna, no doubt about that. Huh, I kind of feel... Takumi-san feels showy for Kozue, huh? Shit, I forgot Kozue can read all my thoughts. Yeah, that's easy to forget. But honestly, as much as I feel sorry for you, I think we're actually the same in some ways. Yeah! Hey! Kozue was actually thinking the same thing about Takumi-san. The first time Kozue went to school, when she saw Takumi-san, she was like, he looks like he's in a lot of pain. Same comment Remy always makes. And since Kozue was also in pain a lot, she thought, wow, Kozue and him are the same, and felt a whole lot better. The same, huh? It reminds me of what Sarah told me about Kozue's life before she transferred. Oh yeah, we're going to have to spoil now that Senna told us about that, because you're thinking it. She and I really are alike. We're both closed off to the world. We're both at the mercy of the malicious entities surrounding us. We both avoid crowds, we both avoid human contact, we're both afraid of people, and we both like hiding away by some dimly lit staircase, making ourselves unnoticeable. Why, where's our staircase? Kozue just wants to live a normal life. As she played with the clickety-clackety in her hand, Kozue had a faraway look in her eyes. Talking about how she always wants to live a normal life actually reminds me of Yoshikage Kira from the JoJo's Adventures. Also a killer, also a psycho, but just wants to live a normal life, just wants to live a plant-like life. Kozue wants to make friends, then play together, eat lunch together, study together, work really hard to get ready for culture festivals together, talk about love together. A normal life with all of that. That would be more than enough for Kozue. And if anyone tries to stop me, I'ma kill him. Kozue never wished for anything special. The hell is that noise? Suddenly the expression on Kozue's face disappeared, and then she tore apart the clickety-clackety she had been playing with. The beads went everywhere, rolling and tumbling down the stairs. Well, that was sudden. I've been thinking the same thing. Why did you do that? Why am I the only one that has to suffer like this? I always ask myself, what did I do to deserve this? Kozue did a thing to deserve it, you know. A bad thing. You sure did. Kozue stuck out her tongue and her smile came back. A bad thing? Yeah, but she enjoyed it, which is why she's smiling. Do you mean the thing where you cut off your classmates' arms? Yep. Or was there something else? It's when Kozue wished to kill. Yeah, we've had this conversation. Kozue wished that she could really kill everyone that ever bullied her. You really are pretty twisted. My dude, you have no idea. But Wishing for a bad thing isn't a bad thing in and the of itself, right? Huh? Does Takumi-san think that wishing for bad things is bad? Because it's bad, wishing for bad things is bad? Bad? Babadad? It's super duper bad, huh? I'm gonna need to read some sort of scholarly papers or something after this to get my brain out of Kozue gear. Well, back on top pick! Negative emotions are not something to be repudiated. That's what the strange old person with the board said. That would have been Senna's dad. It took me a moment to figure out what back on top pick meant. Back on topic. And because Kozue wished for a bad thing, Kozue's sword became a power for Kozue. And Kozue's D-sword protects her now. Also, free snowboard. So, since Kozue has it, Kozue doesn't need to be normal or anything anymore. Are you sure? Have you really given up trying to live a normal life? Are you sure that's what you want, that you won't regret it? Kozue doesn't like things that are annoying. Well, who does like things that are annoying? They're annoying. And the world's filled only with baddies anyway, too. What about Senna? Do you think she's a bad person, too? Senna-chan is Kozue's friend. She's not a bad person. The voice of Kozue's heart sounded incredibly happy. Neither is Takumi-chan. You're all clickety-clackety friends too. You're part of the clickety-clackety club. If we could all think like Kozue does, life would probably be a lot easier. Or is it the reason Kozue thinks this way because she was broken at some point in the past? Yep. It's not really something I can answer. Not until I watch Simon's Let's Play. While I might complain all the time about the world around me, inside my head that is, at the end of the day, all I want is for someone to help me. That's all I ask. And Remy ditched me, so while I may have thought we were similar, I guess Kozue and I really are different. Nope! Kozue and Takumi-chan are the same. For some reason I didn't understand, Kozue seemed very convinced of that. She then vigorously stood up. Alrighty! Time for us to go home! As soon as that left her mouth, as soon as that left her brain, Kozue raced down the stairs. And then, in a display that was very in character for her, she slipped and fell on the very last step. The inside of Roft was as packed as ever. With a slight limp, Kozue made her way through the building. There were tears in her eyes. Are you okay? Don't worry. Kozue's used to falling over. Kozue flashed a brave smile. But that smile quickly faded. Kozue stopped dead in her tracks and her gaze shot straight behind me. White car? White car? Through the window? White car? Mirrors! Never mind, even worse. When I glanced over my shoulder to see what she was looking at, I saw a bunch of mirrors for sale. Everything from hand mirrors to full-on dressers were on display. Well, never coming back to this stairwell again. With a stiff expression, Kozue looked away from the mirrors, then started to quickly walk away. See you tomorrow, Takumi-chan. Bye. The voice of her heart held not even a trace of the energy from before. As Kozue has now left us, so shall I leave you. That is a good place to leave it for the first third of the Kozue ending. Trust me, next episode is going to be a doozy. I'll see you then.